Help me reach 7,000 subscribers. Please like the video and share your thoughts in the comments. Your feedback helps make the content better. I came home on a Tuesday and heard low laughter from the dining room. The blinds were half open, evening light striping the table. She was leaning over her phone, smiling into the screen. The second the door clicked, her smile vanished and she said, very soft, like she didn't want the words to travel, "He's here. I'll text later." She put the phone face down. Who was that? I set my keys in the bowl we bought together in better years. Work? Aaron said without looking at me. Don't start. That a new policy? No eyes, no details. It's work, she repeated, clipped, already walking to the sink. And I'm tired. I hadn't heard that voice from her in 9 years. I could hear the distance in it. The message was simpler than the words, "You don't have access." If I'd known where it was headed, I'd have skipped the shock and gone straight to the part where I locked the gates. I washed my hands, dried them slow. You going to be home for dinner tomorrow? Probably not. She kept rinsing a single glass like it was complicated. Late project review. Don't wait up. When's the review? Don't micromanage me. That was our opening bell. And I don't do long debates over common sense. I do rules. All right, I told her. From tonight, separate budgets. I'll send you the utilities split. Use your own card for your own plans. If you're late, just text a yes or no on whether you're home. No essays. She blinked. Excuse me. It's simple. Clear lanes. Less friction. You think I need your permission to spend money I earn? Good thing I didn't offer any, I said and went to the guest room to grab a spare blanket. I slept there that night without a speech, because speeches don't fix respect. The next evening she was gone before I got back. Lights off. A sticky note. Grab dinner with Dana. Long day. It was polite like a receipt. I ate alone and scheduled our joint cards to my email for alerts. The third evening, the alert pinged at 6:40 p.m., wine bar across town. The note that night said, parent call ran long. Good. We were being honest with each other, at least in the numbers. Friday, she breezed in at 10:30, hair just so, a scent I didn't recognize. She opened the fridge, then closed it without taking anything. You look mad. I look like a man who moved to a rule book, I said. How'd Dana like the wine? Her jaw shifted a millimeter. Oh my God, you're tracking me. I'm reading alerts to my money. Your money? That's interesting. It got interesting when I started talking to your voicemail. She laughed once. You know what? I don't need this. I'm going to bed. Take the master, I said. You're hardly using it. She paused at the hallway. You want me to put an apology on your calendar too? No need. Put clarity on yours. She left the light on in the bedroom. I finished my sandwich at the counter and rescheduled my Saturday. No couples brunch with the old neighbors. No errands together. I messaged them, running solo for a bit. People learn quick when you stop showing up on time for things that don't pay you back. The next morning, while I changed the oil on the truck in the driveway, our neighbor, Mr. Patel, waved with his newspaper. Everything okay over there? It's quiet, I said. Quiet can be loud, he said, and went on. I wiped my hands clean and called the bank. By noon, the joint card was set to a modest cap and alerts on every purchase. I moved our savings to a new account in my name. Gift from my parents years ago, not marital. Logic, not drama. Then I texted Aaron the new bills split. Mortgage paid by me, utilities split, discretionary separate. It's cleaner, I added. She read it. No reply. Sunday night. She walked in at 9, kicked off her flats without looking for me. I was on the couch with a baseball game on mute. You sent me a spreadsheet, she said, waving her phone. Like you're my manager. Think of it as a budget sign outside the door. You're unbelievable. Maybe, but I'm consistent. You're punishing me because I work late. I'm responding to you living like you're single and billing me for the cover charge. Her eyes cooled. That is not what's happening. You're right, I said. It's what was happening. Now it's invoiced properly. She tossed her phone on the chair. I have to be at the office early. Don't inbox me in the morning. Text a yes or no, I said. She left again before dawn. On Monday, I got an AP ping at work. Dana, her co-worker, called me at lunch by accident. Pocket dial, probably. I hung up and went back to contracts. My supervisor, Vince, leaned on my cubicle wall. You look like a man reading the wind. Just tightening up. He tapped the desk. Tightening up saves bridges. Let the other side spin themselves out. Good advice. I made it policy. That night, she showed up earlier. 7 sharp, arms full of takeout, her hair pulled back the way she knows I like when we used to be a team. I brought tacos, Erin said, careful like she was approaching a skittish animal. From that place by the park. I know you like the green sauce. Thanks. I set 2 plates. She poured water. Small talk. The old jokes. I watched the effort like you watch a weather pattern you don't trust. Halfway through, she crossed one leg over the other and tried to smile. You've been tense. I don't like this version of us. Me either. I miss you. She let that hang, then nudged the plate toward me. Maybe we could take a weekend. Reset. My treat. Just, maybe chill on the spreadsheets. And the nightly disappearing acts. She held my eyes. You're reading me wrong. Correct me. It's just a heavy cycle at work, she said. And I've been catching up with some people. You know, normal human friendship. I shouldn't have to file a report. Then don't. I'll file mine. Her mouth dipped. Is this a power play? It's me moving my chair to my side of the table. She reached across and touched my hand. Can we stop with the court terms? I just want to eat with my husband without feeling like I'm on trial. I slid my hand back and stacked the plates. All right. House rules stay. We can eat without court metaphors. That's me meeting you halfway. She exhaled like she'd scored a point. Thank you. It was a decent imitation of peace, and for a second I wanted to believe it. After dinner, she came around behind the couch and rested her chin on my shoulder like old times. You've always been solid, she murmured, just enough warmth to pass. I know I've been all over the place. Yep. She hesitated. Also, there's a work thing Friday. We're expected to go. Can you Venmo me for a dress? It's formal. There it was, the invoice for the apology. I muted the TV. Use your card, I said. This is for us. Then wear something in your closet. You look good in half that stuff. She pulled back. The patience left her face. You're being petty. I'm being specific. She stared another second, then went to the bedroom. We slept in separate rooms, her by choice now. The next day, she was sweet again in texts about my morning meeting, a careful check-in, a selfie with a coffee, playful like we were new. It lasted until I didn't move cash. By late afternoon, she sent, staying late. Don't wait up. No punctuation. At 6 I closed my laptop and headed out. Something in the timing was off. The office she worked at is downtown. The car charges on our card pings certain blocks when she parks. The alert came from a street near the river, not the office. I didn't drive straight there. I made one stop, Mike's auto shop on 3rd. Mike's been my friend since high school. He's loud, likes bad coffee, and knows what quiet actually means. He glanced up as I walked in. You look like you're driving without mirrors. Just passing, I said, leaning on the counter. You busy Friday? For you? I can be less busy. What? Need a couch later. Maybe a week. He studied my face, then nodded once. Keys on the hook. Bottom shelf. No speeches, no pity. That's why I asked him first. I pocketed the key, bought a quart of oil I didn't need, and left. The River District was full of people finishing the day. I parked across from the coffee shop with the chalkboard menu. Through the window, I saw her. Erin sat near the glass, angled toward a man I'd never seen at our table before. Early 40s, tidy, that forced casual look you get when you dress like you borrowed your taste from Pinterest. They were leaning in, hands close on the table. She laughed. He touched her wrist. Small things, visible to anyone with eyes. They got up. I stayed put. She reached for his hand like she'd done it 100 times, and he took it. They pushed the door open, still linked. The evening light hit them as they stepped to the sidewalk. I crossed the street, calm as if I was going for a refill. The man saw me first. His hand dropped. He looked like someone turned down a dimmer switch on his face. Erin followed his eyes and didn't flinch. Oh, she said. Not surprised. Not sorry. Just noted. Thought you were at the office, I told her. We grabbed coffee. She shifted her purse higher on her shoulder. Don't make a scene. Scene would require acting. I'm not acting. I looked at him. Name. He cleared his throat. Trevor. Of course it is. I turned back to her. So this is the project review that runs late. She almost smiled. You're reading this wrong. Sure, I said. Then you won't mind answering me clean. I let the question sit there. No adjectives, no extra words. What is this? She tilted her head, calculating quick. This is me building something new. And I don't owe you a timetable. There was the plan, printed plain. I could see the target, the steps, the attitude. And the man beside her? He shifted away another inch, like distance was a solution. Paper spine. Thanks, I said. I'm all caught up. Don't go dramatic. I never do. I looked at Trevor again. He held the ground without actually standing on it. You'll want to keep your name out of my house. He nodded like a bobblehead. Understood. I didn't give either of them more. I walked back to my truck. Aaron called after me once, not loudly. I didn't turn. I drove home. Every turn of the wheels simple, factual. You know those moments where your life self-edits? That was mine. She was already inside when I got there. She'd driven faster than me. Adrenaline loans people speed. She waited in the kitchen, arms folded like a judge. Followed me, was how she opened. I walked across the street. You stalked me to a coffee shop. That's sick. You made it a public sidewalk scene. That's sloppy. You are controlling, she said, coming in hot, words like nails on a clipboard. You think my relationships with colleagues belong to you. You think everything about me is yours to approve. It's toxic. Using new words doesn't make old behavior prettier. I'm serious, she said. You either accept that Trevor is my friend and part of my life, or we're done. Friend, I repeated, because I like to run the exact code. Part of your life. Yes. He makes me feel seen at work. He helps me. She let that sentence do the work she wanted it to do. I'm not giving that up because you have trust issues. I opened the drawer and took out the spare car key, my passport, a folder with my birth certificate. I grabbed my gym bag. Not a scramble. A checklist. She watched, half triumphant, half confused. What are you doing? You said your terms. I replied, slinging the bag over my shoulder. Here are mine. You're leaving? Over a friend. I'm leaving because you set the bar on the floor and then complained I didn't crawl. Wow, she said, performing it now. So childish. You'll need to cover your extras from now on, I added. The caps stay, budgets stay. Don't call me at night. She laughed, a sharp exhale. You can't even discuss. You just run. I don't run, I said, taking the truck key. I decide. I walked out without another shot and drove to Mike's. He opened the garage door like he'd been listening for my engine. You want the couch or the spare room? He asked. Couch, I said. Closer to the coffee. He handed me a blanket. You talked to her? She talked. Terms and conditions. And I declined. He waited a beat. You good? I'm focused. He nodded. Good. I'll order pizza. We ate in the shop office, 2 stools, a stack of parts diagrams for placemats. I told him about the River Coffee shop. He didn't say, I'm sorry, because that's for injuries you can't climb out of. He said, what's next? Which is what you say when you believe someone still has their hands on the wheel. Tomorrow, I answered. I move the rest of what's mine. Then I file. Need help lifting? Just the safe and the toolbox. Done. For a week, I slept at Mike's, worked, lifted, and shifted my schedule like I'd changed the oil, steady, methodical. Erin didn't call. She sent 2 texts. Let me know when you're planning to come by, so I'm not there. And, days later, we need to talk about the lawn service. She didn't mention the coffee shop. She didn't mention my absence in terms of us. She mentioned the grass. I filed the papers in the 2nd week. I didn't announce it. I did the errands that make a man free. New account, new mailbox, storage unit for what I didn't need quick. A rental application across town that I ended up not using. Vince at work noticed I was quieter. Clean edges, he said approvingly. Dana from Aaron's office bumped into me outside the deli by chance. Slim, smart eyes, a person who reads rooms for a living. You okay? She asked. I'm organized. She studied me. She's been different. Just, if you need receipts, dates, anything. I mean, for your own memory. I have what I need, I said. But thank you. 3 weeks turned into 4. I woke up one Monday with no message from Aaron for 8 straight days. It told me everything. When someone sees you as backup power, they don't check the meter until the lights go out. That afternoon, I stopped by the house. The dogwood in front needed trimming. Her car wasn't there. I walked in, took a breath of the room that used to be ours, and set a manila envelope on the kitchen island with a pen. Papers on top, sticky note. You set your condition. Here's my answer. I heard her before I saw her. The garage door, the clack of heels. She came in, saw the envelope, and her voice reached for sweet and found alarm instead. Hey, what's all this? Documents, I said. For what? Ending this with dignity. This is insane, she said, rifling through pages she hadn't earned the right to touch gently. No, no, you misunderstood. I was upset that night. You got it all wrong. I got it right, I replied. This is the only thing I've had right in a while. She tried a laugh that didn't clear customs. Come on, don't be dramatic. We can slow down. No need for paperwork. Your exact words were accept him or end it. I reminded her. I'm confirming the selection. She set the papers down too hard. You're not thinking. You're mad. You'll lose things you care about. Already did. I pointed at the line where she needed to sign to accept service from my side. I'll see myself out. No, wait. She reached out like she might touch my arm. She didn't. You are throwing 9 years away. You started throwing them long before I noticed, I said, picked up my keys, and walked to the door. This is me finishing the job. She slammed the door after me, and that was the last time she controlled anything I did. 2 days later, she called. The voice was new, angry, strained, official. You will regret this. I will take you for everything. You think you can just walk? No. I'll make sure you don't get to keep the house, the accounts, any of it. The house is a gift from my parents from before, I said, calm, like I was reading a weather report. Savings already moved. If you go that route, I send the full packet to your company, dates, receipts, and a picture of you two outside a coffee shop at 6:48 p.m. on a day you logged overtime. Do what you think is right. She hung up mid-sound. The day after that, the tone shifted. A soft text first. Can we talk? I overreacted. Then a voice message. I miss our routine. I've been under pressure. I want to fix this. Then a longer call where she stacked words like sandbags. I know I was cold. I know I pulled away. I shouldn't have. I want to try. Please, let's meet for dinner. No pressure. I didn't punish her with silence. Silence can be a game. I'm not 12. I kept it simple. No dinner. Please stop calling. The movers will be there next week. Pack what's yours. I'll have a friend there with a list. This isn't a debate. You're heartless, she said, soft as a knife edge. I'm clear, I replied. When she went back to threats, I did what I said. I wrote a short email to her company. No adjectives, no weapons, just logs. I attached what I had. Card alerts, screenshots of her late at work, texts time-stamped against charges by the river, a photo I'd taken from across the street. I sent it to the general ethics address listed on their site and CC'd no one. It took me 8 minutes. Then I made a sandwich. I got a reply from a neutral admin the next afternoon. Thank you. This will be reviewed. No drama. 2 days later, Dana texted me. Heads up. Big thing at our office. People called into rooms. I put my phone face down and changed the oil on a Jeep for Mike to keep my hands busy. By evening, Dana again. They let 2 people go today. I didn't ask who. I didn't need the roll call. Aaron called me at 10 that night, sobbing without tears, like someone who knows what they lost wasn't just money. They fired me, she said, as if the word itself was unfair to her. He won't answer me. They said it was conduct. You did this. You ruined my life. I made a choice, I said. You made several. You are cruel, she whispered. I am done. Please, she said, a small word she had never used when she had options. Please come home. Let me fix this. Home is where the rules are, I said. You rewrote them. I'm living by the new version. She tried again a week later, sweeter, with muffins left on Mike's counter somehow, a card on my truck windshield in careful handwriting. We had something real. I forgot. I'm sorry. I texted a photo of the boxes the movers labeled with her name. Pick a time this week, I wrote. After that, the locks change. The morning the movers came, Aaron arrived with 2 friends I didn't know well. They rolled their eyes at me like they were helping a rescue mission. My friend Mike stood by the door, arms folded, not saying a word, the kind of presence you don't argue with. Aaron tried to charm him. You've always liked me, Mike. I like working engines, he said. They do what they're supposed to. Her friends whispered in the dining room about process and rights, using words as shields. I didn't engage. I showed the movers the list, her desk, her side of the closet, the guest room furniture she came with. No pettiness. No hidden screws loosened. Adult. Clean. As the last box went out, she lingered by the mantel. You're really going to do this? I'm already doing it. Everything was fixable. Everything that still had respect in it. I answered. This doesn't. She set her keys on the counter one by one, like she was leaving a tip. "You're not the man I married." "That man would have taken longer," I said. She stared another beat, wanting me to blink first. Mike coughed into his fist, not hiding the impatience. She lifted her chin, walked out, and slammed the door. It was the last sound that house made for her. The call 2 days later was not angry or sweet. It was tired. "I'm at my parents'," she said, like I didn't know what that meant. "If you ever cared, you'd help me get back on my feet." "I already helped," I said. "I pulled a bad strategy out by the roots. You'll regret this when you're alone." "I'm good company," I replied and hung up. Some lines don't need punctuation. The papers processed. I signed where I needed to sign, wrote checks where the agreement required, kept the house my parents put in my name and the savings I moved because I can read calendars. Aaron posted vague quotes online about growth and healing and truth, which is what you do when the audience is your last asset. I muted and moved on. I went back to the house alone for the first time on a Saturday. The light in the kitchen was the same as the night I came in and heard her whisper to her phone. Late day, quiet, clean. I opened windows. I painted the guest room a same color. I hauled out the dead plants she used to pretend were thriving. I replaced the old couch with one that doesn't sag from years of sitting through my own denial. In the process, people showed up. Vince came by with a toolbox and asked nothing. Mr. Patel brought over a plate of samosas and said, "Quiet sounds better now." Dana sent one message: "You did what a lot of people don't. Respect." Mike kept lending me wrenches and never asked for them back, which is friendship in our language. Months passed like a steady beat. I adjusted my route to work, cut past the river without looking in the cafe windows. The house felt like mine again because I made it earn the title. I got a second job offer from a contractor who liked how I handled schedules. I took it. I traded the old truck for a later model in cash because clean decisions free up space. I joined a gym not because I was chasing youth, but because strength is an asset even when you're not lifting anything heavy. A new woman came into my life when I wasn't advertising. Lauren. Smart, shoulders back, a laugh you can't fake. We met through Vince's wife at a cookout. She asked direct questions and listened to answers without making them about her. Our first dinner was simple: barbecue and a walk by the marina. No scripts, no auditions. I told her I didn't do gray zones. She said, "Good. Me neither. We've been building something steady, not dramatic." Every now and then, someone asks me if I do anything differently. Sure. I'd stopped giving benefit of the doubt a month earlier. I'd shut down certain jokes at the first delivery. I'd move the finances to clean lanes before the first late night busy started to feel like a policy. But no, I don't regret the part where I finished it. That part saved me. I didn't hear much about Erin after the job. A neighbor mentioned she sold her car. Someone else said they saw her at her parents' place, coming and going without rhythm. Trevor, if he still answers to that name, took a new position across the city and avoided the old crowd. People who build on borrowed ground tend to move a lot. The last time Erin texted me was 6 months after I handed her the envelope. If I could go back, I would. I thought about it for a minute, then replied with the only thing that kept me clean throughout. We don't go back. We choose. When I told Mike that one, he chuckled. "Look at you," he said, "Mr. Boundaries." "Mr. Basic," I said. "Rules are cheaper than chaos." He raised his coffee. "To cheaper. I sleep well now. The house is quiet in the kind of way that means peace instead of avoidance. On Sundays, I open the blinds and make eggs. Sometimes Lauren is there with messy hair and an agenda full of simple plans: yard sales, a hike, fixing the loose hinge on the pantry door. She doesn't need me distracted to feel important. She just asks for the wrench. People think the big moment was the coffee shop. It wasn't. That was the proof. The real moment was the kitchen, when she said, "He's here," and set the rules like I didn't have a vote. That's when the meter started ticking. I just took a minute to hear it. So here's the part that matters. If you care about exits, you don't beg for what disrespects you. You don't negotiate your position to hold on to someone who's already moved their chair to another table. You set your rules, you act, and you accept the invoices that follow. You keep your voice even and your receipts close. And when the ultimatum shows up, you choose in a way that makes your next life possible. I did. She lost the image, the comfort, and the quiet control she'd been selling herself. She got a different quiet. The house, the job, the warm room with the blinds open. Those are mine now, Not because I took them back in a blaze, but because I kept them when it counted and let everything else burn on its own.